I'm trying to fit in the screen. Okay, so I'm here with the coworker. All right, we're gonna play a little game of Are You Broke? So what I'm gonna do is, without his knowledge, I'm gonna show him my bank account, and he's gonna decide if I'm broke based off seeing my bank account. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. Drum roll, please. Am I broke?
Hell no, you're not broke. No, you are not broke.
No, huh?
Nah. Some people would die to have that money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get $1.
So, some people seem to think, like, the rumor is, oh, she wears the same outfit every week, and sometimes I do. I do be wearing the same outfits every other week. I just, like, wash them. And some people had talked about, like, my wardrobe, but I have, like, a wardrobe at home that I don't wear. I just, like, stack it up, build it. But there was this misconception that I'm broke or, you know, and I have to, like, say to the audience that you don't have to wear your money.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You could be saving for a brighter, sunny day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you want to own a house. Maybe you want to own a yacht. Maybe you want to take a trip somewhere. You got to have some money.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, no, I'm not broke. Some people would think this is chump change.
That's true.
Some people would think this is nothing, right? To me, I'm still looking at it like I want more. I need more.
People don't make that in, like, as far as an average per year.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a few accounts, but I don't mind you seeing my accounts. Some people be like, I don't want to see your accounts. Some people don't trust people, but I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't seem like a crazy.
Nah, I'm not telling you. I got more other stuff.
Yeah. I know how to judge character.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at my credit score.
Nice. Real nice credit score. Like, I mean, pretty much, I mean, there's nothing that you won't get approved for. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing at all.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working on that.
Yeah.
I want a higher score.
You know, it's funny that the credit score is, like, even for me, it feels more of an achievement no matter how much money you have, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's like you have to really put in the work for that. Not saying you don't have to put in the work to make good money, but that credit score is just, man, once you get it to where you want it to be at, man.
So I heard people who have 850, they don't have to put, like, I don't know if this is true, but it's like they don't have as much interest.
Yeah.
They have more benefits, like they don't have as high interest rates, or they don't have to put certain down payments.
Right.
Or they get a higher credit card limit or something like that. But anyways.
But whatever they get approved for, you'll get approved for.
Yeah, because we're right in that bracket.
We're right there, yeah.
So I want to get it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm working on. That's why I'm here at work right now. That's why I'm like, want to keep working on my finances and stuff. But what would you consider broke?
Well, from my mentality, if you want to know my personal mentality, I'm being transparent, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between being broke and poor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think being poor is more of a mentality than an actual having finances. Being broke is more so of you just don't have it at the moment, but you have a mentality where that's rich within inside, and that you can have the money and the extended amount of money at any time. It's just all about opportunity, meeting timing, and meeting everything. But it's a lot of people, from what you just showed me, a lot of people would never see that in their lifetime. Like the way that the economy is these days, they don't see that, you know. And so, yeah.
It's just, you know, and also your circumstances.
It's also about your circumstances.
If you got kids, if you open your legs and decide to have kids and be a single mother, I'm sure it's harder. Or that money would be gone by now.
That's true.
You know, or I don't know, but or a guy who had kids and got to take care of family, whatever. But see, I'm single, no kids. I don't really have anybody to take care of besides myself.
Yeah.
And I have time to work.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not a flexer. I'm not trying to like show you the new Rolex I'm wearing.
Right.
I'm not trying to like show you the new wig I have or
Right.
the new nails I have. I'm kind of like a natural girl. So like I believe in do it yourself too. Like anything I could do myself, I'll do it myself, you know, but yeah, it just depends on your circumstances and your desires and your impulses.
Yeah.
I had to really crucify my flesh a lot of the time when I feel like, oh, I want to buy this or I want to have this. Like, save. Resources, your resources. There's so much abundance out here. That's really what I want to say in this video.
Well, what I like about you is that you have the finances to back your mentality and to back the light that shines in you. You know, some people don't have that. Some people have the money, but they're actually terrible people. And some people will be broke, but the greatest people you ever meet.
True that.
You know, so you have that good balance that can definitely take you far in life, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And mind you, I try not to be a target. I try not to wear a target on my back where people are coming to ask me, can I borrow this? Can I have this? I make it seem like I don't have any money.
That's how you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Like I said, I wear the same clothes. I would rather repeat outfits and make you believe that I'm broke, just so you don't ask me for a handout. Cause I will be generous sometimes, if I feel moved, but I want people to earn my respect. I want people to earn it, just like I'm earning it. I'm breaking my tail feather to get it. I want you to break your tail feather to get it. You know, like that's just how I am. Like I think everything was earned in my life. I was given some stuff, but I wasn't given everything.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and we always need money for a rainy day. You never know what could happen.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to be that girl asking a guy for a handout because they're gonna want something in return.
I always want something.
You know, so yeah, guys. I don't know. I've never really. One time, one guy gave me a gift, didn't ask me for nothing in return. He bought me a brand new $300 watch, took me to get a massage, took me to eat, and didn't ask me for a dime or nothing after that. It was probably one time in my life. But other than that, it doesn't happen a lot. And I met him at a club.
Okay.
So the other guys, you know, but anyways, long story short, yeah, it's good to be an independent woman. But that's why I be on my P's and Q's at work. Like I try not to mess around. I try not to like get in trouble. I try not to bully or be a bully. I try to just stay very non-biased and stick to the objective. Like try not to entertain politics. Just try to stay out the way, get the work done, show up, and some stuff is just unavoidable. But as I grow, I want to work with more people and be a part of more teams that I can.
Right.
So I can quadruple my income.
There you go. You're on a great start. Great start.
But yeah. Do you believe you should date people like that have the same amount of money you have or below? Or should that be a talk?
Well, even if you choose not to, it always is going to come a point where you have to, if that makes sense. Like I said, going back to what I said earlier, sometimes you may meet a person in their season where they may not have as much. So they are rich within, but they may not have the finances right then and there. But overall, I think it needs to be somewhere in the same bracket. That's a tricky question to me sometimes. Now it can't be a tremendous difference, not at all, because I believe I believe if there's a tremendous difference where it's 100,000 in between type situation where he makes only 50,000 and she makes 250,000. That's you know. But at the end of the day, a person's bankroll does not determine their character and doesn't determine a lot of times if they're nice or not. But it does determine the fact sometimes, and some people are lazy in some cases. It does sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes determine the fact of a person's motivation. But sometimes a person with money may have none of those things either. No motivation and no drive. So it really depends on the individual. But as long as there's not a huge, tremendous difference as far as finances, like I'll say 100,000 at the max. No, that's not gonna work. Two different lifestyles. You know.
I know some people that be having like $250 in their account to their name.
Yeah.
I've heard those case scenarios.
I just feel like after a while it'll catch up as far as like the lifestyle and the mentality with that other person,
Yeah.
That's what I think.
All right. Well, that's our talk today, guys. Get to working.
Yes. Get to grinding.
Or go get to schooling, or get to hustling, or build a business, or because I'm telling you, there's money out there for you.
Yeah. There's so many different ways in this day and age too.
Mm-hmm.
So many different ways.
Can't be scared though. Scared money don't make no money.
Not at all.
All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.